Hello students, greetings for the day. In this video lecture, we will study about call and the return instructions which are used along with the subroutines. So what exactly is meant by a subroutine? We should know that. Okay. So before that, I'll just introduce you to a call and a return instruction. Call and return instructions are used in case of subroutines, as I said. So what is subroutine? Subroutine is a small section of code, okay, which we can execute repeatedly. Okay, see, suppose if this is your main program, okay, and in that there are some smaller sections. These are called as subroutines, and we can execute this subroutines number of times. But whenever we want to execute this, we have to call this instruction. Okay, we have to call this instruction. So see, this is your main program. Okay, then here if you want to call a subroutine, you need to write a call instruction, then the control will be transferred to the subroutine. Here you have a subroutine, I'll call it as S. So after executing this small code, again we have to come back to our main program where we left, and for that reason you will always need a return instruction. If you don't put the return instruction, your code will not be able to come back at the point or the location where it has left. Okay, so subroutine is a section of code which we can execute repeatedly, and the execution can be at different places. So here I have shown it can be at different places. You can call the subroutine at different places. The call instruction is a 32 bits. 32 bit means 4 bytes instruction, where 12 bits are used for opcode and 20 bits are used for address of the target subroutine. So 20 plus 12 is equal to 32. So in all, we can say that call is a 32 bit instruction. Call instruction can be used anywhere within 2 MB space or the address space, you may call. Okay, so when calling a subroutine, the program counter register is trying to push the contents onto the stack. Okay, on calling, what happens is, see, this is your main program. Okay, and we always know what is program counter. It is pointing towards the location, and the location which is being pointed, that instruction is being executed. So accordingly, program pointer just points to the location from where the data is to be fetched. But once when call instruction comes, whenever you want to call a subroutine, at that time, see, suppose if the program counter was pointing towards this location, okay, but see, we have to come back here again after performing this small subroutine. This is our small subroutine, this is our main program M. Okay, so performing this main program, we got a subroutine to perform for which call instruction has come. So from here we have to move here. Okay, so in order to move here, what we need to do, we need to store this location, okay, of program counter, so that after performing this subroutine, here you have a return instruction R, you can come back over here where you left. So this program counter usually stores its next instruction address on stack. So this is a stack. Here you have a program counter's value. So program counter's next instruction address is stored on the stack, and then now the call instruction will come here, subroutine will be executed, return instruction will ask the program to go back, or you can leave your subroutine. But now whenever while returning, you will need the address. So in order to get the address from stack, you need to pop it. Okay, so here you can find the statements. Whenever you want to go to the subroutine, you have to push the contents of program counter on stack, and when return is executed, contents of program counter are popped off from the stack. Okay, then these two are very different instructions, call and return. So here you can just see how the call instruction looks like. Okay, so as it is a 32 byte instruction, you can see here this is a call instruction. So call k comma s. Okay, so k is nothing but the range of operands from 0 to 1048575. It is coming this because it is 2 raised to 32. Okay, it is 2 raised to 32. So you are getting this value. Okay, so what operation is being performed? It is program counter plus 4 is placed on the top of stack. Why 4? Okay, because instruction is splitted into groups and then it is stored into the stack. So that many locations are being left. Okay, so in order to get the complete the knowledge of this call instruction, it is very essential to study this instruction in this way only. Okay, now here you may notice, okay, s is equal to 0 or s is equal to 1. Here you may notice it. Okay, here you can see the value of s are either 0 or 1. When it is 0, it is simply trying to call a subroutine, but if it is 1, s is 1, it means we are asking the CPU to save the 3 major registers. Which 3 main registers are there? You can see it is a working register, status register and BSR, that is a bank select register. So when s is equal to 1, we are calling a subroutine and we are asking the CPU to save these 3 major registers of WREG, status and BSR in the internal buffers. For this purpose, for the purpose of context switching. So you can see the contents of WR stored to WS, status to status S, BSR to BSR S. This S here indicates the shadow registers. This S indicates the shadow register. Okay, so you have to keep it in mind. Now you may have a question, why these shadow registers are created here? Okay, you may have obviously a question like why these shadow registers are created. So see, when we want to come back to our main program, okay, and if in our original program we are already using the instructions which are using the status register, bank select register or the working register. Okay, so if your program require these 3 registers, they should be retained, they should retain the contents. So put s is equal to 1 and s so it will copy or it is going to make the multiple copies when we come back from the subroutine. Then the copies are restored. So if you want to ignore 3 registers, then put s is equal to 0, then no copies will be made. So preparing the copies only is an issue. This will be required only when you are using these 3 registers in your main program. Okay, so that they won't override the data. So if you want to make shadow, make it 1. If you don't want to make the shadow, make it 0. Okay, so this was all about the call instruction. This was all about the call instruction. Then coming to the next point, stack pointer plays a very important role in case of call instruction, because I already told you that whenever we go to a subroutine, we need to call a instruction, and at that time we need a stack to store our current location, okay, of program counter onto the stack, and that stack always need a stack pointer to point that location. So here purposefully I have put the structure of stack pointer so that you can link that whenever you need a call instruction, stack pointer as well plays a very important role in case of call instruction. Okay, so this is how the stack is going to store the data. Okay, these are nothing but the stack pointer. Stack pointer is of 5 bits. So here you can see these are 5 bits, 0 to 31, it means 32 bits. Okay, so this is your stack which is storing this data. above this there is no data, so this is called as top of stack, and this data is splitted into three parts. This is upper part, which is called as TOSU, that is top of stack upper. This 1A is called as TOSH, top of stack higher, and this is top of stack lower. Important highlights about the call instruction. During a call type of instruction, the stack pointer is first incremented and the RAM location pointed by the stack pointer is written within the contents of program counter. During a return type instruction, contents of the RAM location indicated by the stack pointer are transferred to PC. It means it is doing the popping operation here. Okay, it is doing the popping operation here, and here it is doing the pushing operation for call. The stack pointer is then decremented by 1. Important thing to be noted, during a call instruction, contents on stack are to be pushed where stack pointer is supposed to be incremented, and in a return instruction the data from the stack is to be popped where stack pointer is supposed to be decremented. This is all about the return instruction. Return instruction helps us to return back to our main program. It helps us to return to our main program. Okay, so here you can say return, again it is S0 and S1. Okay, what operation it is doing? Top of stack is nothing but program counter. Top of stack is having the location of program counter. So if it is fetched, we will return back to our program counter's location. When S is equal to 1, it is again going to prepare the shadow. Shadow is nothing but copying contents. It is needed because if you use it in the main program, it will be difficult for us to maintain the contents. That's the reason it is preparing the shadows. Okay, so this is all about the return instruction. Thank you.